emotions beyond childhood and into adulthood. For many people, childhood is supposed to represent safety, love, and protection. But for others, childhood, for some, it was a place of fear. For some, the people who were supposed to protect them became the people they needed protection from. Some learned that their voices didn't matter. Some learned that expressing emotions was dangerous. Some learned that trust could get you hurt. The tragedy of childhood trauma is that children often blame themselves for wounds they never caused. Then they become adults, carrying pain that was never theirs to carry. Today, I want to talk about that pain, but more importantly, because while trauma may become part of your story, it does not have to become the ending of your story. Understanding childhood trauma, bad that happened to us. Trauma is what happens inside of us because of what happened to us. Two children can experience the same event and respond very differently. Trauma is less about the event itself and more about the impact it has on a person's mind, body, emotions, and sense of safety. Children are especially vulnerable because they do not yet have the emotional tools or life experience to process overwhelming situations. When adults experience danger, they may have options. Children cannot leave abusive homes. Children cannot simply walk away from neglect. Children depend on adults for survival. And when those adults become the source of harm, it changes how a child understands the world. You see, sexual abuse and the hit and wounds it leaves, sexual abuse steals something from a child that can never truly be returned. Innocence and safety. Many survivors carry shame for years or decades. Some never speak about what happened. Some convince themselves it was an abuse. Some minimize because they were told to keep quiet. Others fear they won't be believed. The effects can show up later in life through difficulty trusting others, fear of intimacy, problems establishing boundaries, anxiety and depression, substance abuse, feelings of worthlessness, self-destructive behaviors. Many survivors ask themselves questions that were never theirs to answer. Was it my fault? Why did this happen? The truth is simple. Children cannot consent to abuse. Responsibility belongs to the abuser, never the child. Healing often begins when survivors stop carrying guilt that was never there. Physical abuse and living in survival mode. Physical abuse teaches children that pain comes without warning. A child who grows up being hit often learns to become hyper aware of danger. They become experts at reading moods, voices, footsteps, and facial expression. They learn to predict explosions before they happen. That survival skill may protect them as children, but as an adult, the nervous system remains. Many adults who experience physical abuse struggle with chronic anxiety, panic attacks, anger issues, difficulty relaxing, sleep problems, fear of conflict, trust issues. Their bodies continue fighting battles that ended years ago. Their minds continue preparing for emergencies that may never come. Survival mode. Next, we have emotional abuse, the invisible bruises. Emotional abuse leaves no scars that can be photographed, yet it can be every bit as damaging as physical violence. Emotional abuse sounds like, you're worthless. You will never be anything. Why can't you be like your brother or sister? Nobody will ever love you. You're too sensitive. You're just a bird. Children believe what they hear repeatedly. If a child hears they are worthless long enough, they'll begin to believe they are worthless. If they hear they are disappointment long enough, they'll begin expecting disappointment from themselves. Many adults are still fighting battles against voices that aren't even theirs. The voices that says you're not good enough. People will leave if they know who you really are. Often those voices belong to childhood experiences that will never be healed. Mental abuse and manipulation is the next one. Mental abuse often involves control, manipulation, intimidation, and gaslighting. Children may be told that events didn't happen the way they remember them. Their feelings may be dismissed. Their experiences may be denied. Eventually, they begin questioning their own reality. As adults, they may struggle with decision making, self confidence, trusting their instincts, fear of making mistakes, seeking constant validation. When your reality has been questioned long enough, believing yourself becomes difficult. Healing often means learning to trust your own voice again. How trauma shows up in adulthood, many people believe that if they don't talk about trauma, it disappears. Unfortunately, trauma rarely disappears. It usually reappears in different forms. Sometimes trauma looks like anger. Sometimes it looks like addiction. Sometimes it looks like perfectionism. Sometimes it looks like isolation. Sometimes it looks like work addiction. Sometimes it looks like unhealthy relationships. Sometimes it looks like always trying to save everyone else while ignoring yourself. Many adults are not reacting to today's situation. They are reacting to yesterday's wounds. A disagreement feels like abandonment. Criticism feels like rejection. Conflict feels like danger. Silence feels like punishment. The child inside responds before the adult mind has time to think. Trauma changes the brain and the body. Science has shown us that trauma affects more than emotion. It affects memory. It affects stress responses. It affects physical health. Many survivors experience headaches, digestive issues, high blood pressure, sleep disturbances, chronic stress. The body remembers experiences even when the mind tries to forget them. This is why healing cannot simply involve positive thinking. Healing involves the mind, the body, and the spirit. Breaking generational cycles is what needs to be done. One of the greatest fears trauma survivors have is becoming what they hurt them. What if I become my parents? What if I pass this pain on to my children? The fact that you ask those questions often means you're already moving in a different direction. Healing doesn't mean becoming perfect. Healing means becoming aware. It means choosing different responses. It means recognizing patterns and refusing to pass them forward. Generational trauma stops, it ends with me. That decision changes families for generations. So how do we heal? Well, healing becomes the truth, not minimizing, not pretending, not burying. Healing begins when we acknowledge what happened. You cannot heal wounds you refuse to recognize. Acknowledging trauma is not living in the past. It is refusing to let the past control the future. Step one, break the silence. Trauma grows in secrecy. Shame grows in silence. Speaking your truth to a trusted person can be incredibly powerful. For some people, that may be a therapist, a mentor, a support group, a trusted friend, a family member, a spiritual leader. The goal is not to relive pain endlessly. The goal is to stop carrying it alone. Step two, understand that healing is not linear. Many people expect healing to happen in a straight line. It rarely does. Some days you feel strong. Some days memories return. Some days feel like setbacks. Healing often looks messy. Progress may be invisible for months, but healing is still happening. A difficult day does not erase years of growth. Step three, we need to learn healthy boundaries. Many trauma survivors were never taught boundaries. They learned survival instead. As adults, they may struggle to say no. They may tolerate disrespect. They may put everyone else's needs before their own. Healing includes learning that boundaries are not punishment. Boundaries are protection. You can love people and still limit their access to you. You can forgive someone and still choose distance. You can care about someone and still say no. Step four, challenge the lies. Trauma teaches lies. Healing teaches truth. Trauma says you are unlovable. Healing says you are worthy of love. Trauma says you are weak. Healing says survive things that would have broken many people. Trauma says you'll never change. Healing says growth is possible. Trauma says you are. Healing says you are much more than that. Step five, learn self-compassion. Many survivors become experts at showing compassion to others while showing none to themselves. They forgive everyone except themselves. They expect perfection from themselves. Healing involves same kindness you offer others. You deserve protection. You deserve safety. You deserve love. You deserve to be a child. Step six, reconnect with joy. You see, trauma steals joy. Healing intentionally invites it back. Joy make look different to everyone. It may be music. It may be art. It may be exercise. It may be your faith. It may be nature. It may be family. It may be being creative. It may be community service. Healing is not only about reducing pain, it's also about rebuilding joy. Step seven, understand that asking for help is strength. Many survivors pride themselves on independence. They had to become strong because strength what's required for survival. Strength is not refusing help. Strength is knowing when help is needed. A message to survivors. If you carry trauma from childhood, I want to say this to you. What happened to you matters. Your pain matters. Your story matters. The child who lived through those experiences deserves better. The adult standing here today deserves peace. You are not defined by abuse. You are not defined by violence. You are not defined by neglect. You are not defined. You are your courage and your ability to continue moving forward despite everything you have faced. Got broken bones heal, cuts heal, wounds heal. Human beings have an incredible capacity for healing when given safety, support, and time. The scars may remain, but scars tell a story. As Scar says, there was pain here, there was injury here, but there was also healing here. If you are carrying childhood trauma into adulthood, remember this. You survived. You are still here. And as long as you are here, healing remains possible. Your story is not over. Your pain does not get the final word. Healing does. Thank you. Y'all have a